Iran's top military commander has directly cautioned U.S. President Donald Trump against any confrontation with the Islamic Republic, declaring that such a move would deliver what he called harsh lessons to the United States. Major General Abdolrahim Mousavi, Chief of Staff of Iran's armed forces, issued the warning on Sunday, escalating rhetoric at a moment when tensions between the two countries are already dangerously high. Mousavi stated that if Trump enters into confrontation, the consequences would be so severe that he would no longer bellows threats around the world. He described the American president's remarks as reckless and unbefitting of a leader of a superpower. The Iranian general also questioned what he portrayed as contradictions in Washington's stance. If Trump truly intends to wage war, Mousavi asked, why does he simultaneously speak of negotiations? His comments come after months of increasingly sharp rhetoric from the White House, where President Trump has repeatedly warned Tehran of potential military action should talks fail. In recent weeks, the Pentagon confirmed the deployment of additional military assets to the region, including another aircraft carrier strike group, thousands of additional troops, fighter aircraft, and guided missile destroyers.
Let me go first on your question. I'm not going to talk about attacks on Iran or anything of that nature because the president's made clear he prefers diplomacy and an outcome of negotiated settlement. Now, we're dealing with radical Shia clerics. Okay? We're dealing with people who make geopolitical decisions on the basis of pure theology, and it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling. I think they're traveling right now to have important meetings, and we'll see how that turns out. And we'll always comply with the applicable laws of the United States in terms of involving Congress in any decisions. But right now, we're not talking about any of that. We are postured in the region for one simple reason, and that is that we understand that there could be threats to our forces in the region. We've seen them be threatened in the past, and we want to make sure that we have sufficient capacity to defend them if, God forbid, that were to happen. But right now, we're talking about negotiations. We are focused on negotiations. That's what we're focused on. The president's made that clear. If that changes, it'll be obvious to everyone, and obviously whatever the law requires us to do, we'll do.
The show of force follows Trump's late January remarks referencing what he called another beautiful armada heading toward Iran. He warned that failure to reach a deal would bring consequences far worse than previous strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities.
The second aircraft carrier that you decided to send, talk about why you made that choice.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it. If we don't have a deal, we'll need it. If we have a deal, we could cut it short. It'll be leaving very soon. We have one out there that just arrived. If we need it, we have it ready. A very big force.
Those remarks revived memories of the June 2025 conflict, often referred to as the 12-Day War, which reshaped regional dynamics. On June 13, 2025, Israel launched strikes on Iranian civilian, military, and nuclear sites, killing senior commanders and nuclear scientists in the opening hours. The escalation at that time rattled global markets and heightened fears of a broader regional war. Anti-war organizations now warn that another direct confrontation between Tehran and Washington could prove even more destabilizing. Yet even as military deployments increase, diplomatic channels remain open. On February 6th, Iranian and American officials held a new round of indirect nuclear negotiations in the Omani capital of Muscat. A second round of talks is scheduled to take place in Geneva on Tuesday, with representatives from Oman acting as mediators. The parallel tracks of military escalation and diplomatic engagement have created a volatile atmosphere, where a single miscalculation could carry far-reaching consequences. For Tehran, the message is clear. Publicly, its top general projects defiance and warns of decisive retaliation. Privately, negotiators prepare for another round of high-stakes discussions aimed at containing the crisis. For Washington, the strategy appears twofold: increase pressure through military presence while keeping the door open for a potential agreement.
Iran made a hard concession as U.S. wants a deal on its nuclear program. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister, Majid Takht Ravanchi, made an offer to the United States in an interview to the BBC. He said that Tehran is ready to compromise on its nuclear program if Washington is ready to discuss lifting sanctions on the Muslim nation. Remember, Iran denies seeking to acquire nuclear weapons, but has enriched uranium to levels that have no peaceful application. It has also obstructed international inspectors from checking its nuclear facilities after the 12-day June war and further expanded its ballistic missile capabilities. Takht Ravanchi said that the ball is in America's court to prove that they want to do a deal. When asked whether Tehran would agree for its highly enriched uranium to be shipped out of Iran, the official says it is too early to say what will happen in the course of negotiations. The Iranian official also reiterated that Tehran's ballistic missile program is not up for discussion. U.S. President Donald Trump has also been pressing Tehran of a possible regime change. Takht Ravanchi said, "We are not hearing that in the private messages." Meanwhile, Iran and U.S. officials will meet for second round of nuclear discussions next week in Switzerland's Geneva. Some reports suggest that the talks will take place on February 17th. However, an official confirmation is awaited. Oman, which hosted the first round of indirect talks on February 6th, will host the talks in Geneva, the Swiss Foreign Ministry informed. Trump has repeatedly threatened to use military force to pressure Iran into agreeing to limits on its nuclear program, warning that Washington will not allow Tehran to continue expanding its activities. Iran, in turn, has said it would retaliate with its own strikes if attacked. Trump has also issued threats linked to Iran's deadly crackdown on recent nationwide protests. On Friday, Trump said the USS Gerald Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, was being deployed from the Caribbean to the Middle East to reinforce the U.S. military buildup in the region. He also remarked that a change in Iran's leadership would be the best thing that could happen.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore if you individually take out their right.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.